Put your hands up.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to Openly Guarded. I am your host, Dimples. Thank you so much for coming back for another episode. And you know, this is the place where we believe in talking about everybody's story because we believe that everybody's story is important. Today, we are talking about the topic of fatherless homes. Now, when I say fatherless homes, this is not a point the finger type of episode because everybody's story is valuable and everybody's story is important. And whether you grew up in a fatherless household, whether it was physical or emotional or spiritual, we often carry those lessons into adulthood. And that's what we're talking about today. How much of who we become is a part of who was absent in our lives? I know growing up without a father looks different to everyone. Some of our fathers pass away, some of them leave, some are incarcerated, some are present in the home but are emotionally absent. And sometimes the hardest part is not understanding that they're gone. It's never knowing why. Children naturally ask themselves questions, whether it's when they're coming into their own adulthood or when they're coming out of adolescence. It's a natural thing. Children naturally ask themselves questions. Was I enough? Did he love me? Would my life be different if he stayed? Is it my fault that he's gone? Sometimes, without having answers to those questions, we could fill them with imaginary, fictional things, and usually our mind moves to something negative, but it's not always true. As I said previously, a lot of us bring these questions into our adulthood without even realizing it. It could come out in the way you love. It can come out in the way that you share. It can come out in the way you defend yourself. It can come out in the way that you become a parent. You may not understand at the time why you're so apprehensive or you're so defensive when it comes to certain natures of being a provider, being a protector, being a defender. There could be triggers there that lie underneath the surface that are just waiting to be revealed. And I don't mean to say that in a way to scare you. I mean to say it in a way of you may not know that you're still on the journey of healing until you start to reflect on these questions yourself when you become an adult. Not because we're broken, not because we're bad people. It's because we're still learning lessons that we have yet to be taught ourselves. One thing that I've learned in my 37 years of living is that getting answers does not always bring you closure. It doesn't always bring you peace. However, accepting that some answers may never come can begin and restore your journey to true healing when it comes to the presence or the non-presence of the fatherless home. In my own time of reflecting, I've realized that you're not responsible for the part of life that you were born into, but you can take the responsibility to define how your next chapter will end. Your existence, your presence, shouldn't be dimmed nor determined nor limited based upon who was present and who was absent. Your life is yours, and you can write the story however you want to write it, and it can end however you want it to end. And that is where writing becomes so important to me, because I found a place where I can ask questions that I could never really ask anybody else. And yeah, some of my questions still have not been answered, but I found a place that is safe for me to be curious, or to wonder, or to question a theory without offending someone. And if you're looking for a place like that, and you've been with me so far, in this conversation. I truly appreciate you for being here, and please come back, because we will continue to have conversations like these that are educational and healing, and also revealing of who we are and why we are the way we are today. What was one lesson you had to teach yourself because nobody else was around to teach you, or nobody else knew the information to share it with you? Did it make you better, or did it make you not so much better? A lot of times when I'm faced with things that I don't know how to do, that I feel like somebody who come before me, at least in my family, somebody that is within my reach, that has come before me doesn't know how to do, I find myself frustrated at first for a while. And then I realized I still need the information. I still need to learn what I want to learn. I still want to grow. And then I'll go find the information for myself, whether that's through friends or networking or just being outside in general and just asking questions because I'm always curious. You have the choice, you have the right, you have the power to control the rest of your life. So I say to you, no matter who was there or who was present in what way, or who was absent and in what way, you are still the most important person in your entire story. And that's, I don't even know how to explain how powerful that is. I didn't know my dad. I don't know anything about him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if I have other brothers and sisters. I have no idea. It's just me and my mama and her kids. And I've learned to make peace with that. At first, it was very challenging. It was very difficult. I grew up in a household with 7 of us. I'm number 7. And everybody else had a dad. So imagine how challenging. I know it's like, yo, mama had 7 kids. Yeah. But everybody else had a dad. And everybody else knew who their dad was, and they had relationships with them, and they would go on trips and pick them up from school and all that stuff, you know? But I was the kid that didn't have anybody, and I always had to be with my mama all the time. And that caused a little bit of weird friction that hopefully we get a chance to talk about later. But for me, my adolescence was very challenging. I wish that I had more structure. I wish that I had more discipline. I wish that I had better people to look over me and direct me, because now as an adult, I am defensive. Now as an adult, I am overprotective of myself, my space, my surroundings, the people that I allow in my life. As an adult, I don't trust men very much at all. As an adult, I have trouble building relationships out of genuinehood. I often think someone wants something from me. And I'm not also saying that having a father around would have stopped me from feeling the way that I feel as an adult, but I feel like I might have had a little bit more assistance about men, because a father is a woman's first introduction to a man. Speaking personally about my experience, I didn't have that. I had my brothers. And it's a little different. They love you, but it's just a little different. But I say all that to say, no matter what your situation was, whether you knew your father, he was in the house, or he was absent, it's very important that you know how important you are in general. Because one day you will start your own family, and one day you will start your own village. And you'll need to be things that you may never have had before. I know I've needed to be things that I've never truly had before. And just speaking that and saying that makes me feel so much better. It really does. And that's why I'm so glad that we have this space, because I have a space. Even though we post on TikTok, even though we post on Instagram, and we post on YouTube, those places are not really spaces for us. We are trying to bum rush and dominate those platforms, but y'all know we ain't had no place. We had to create Openly Guarded, and my OGs, we had to be here every Friday to have our weekly meetings and our sessions. But I really appreciate y'all for being here and cheering me on. We are at 105. We are 104 subscribers. Y'all almost cursed. It might be too early in episodes to curse. You know how YouTube. Community guidelines, baby. Community guidelines. But I know that fucking like 35 to 40% of them people know me in real life. You understand me? They know me in real life. They just spoke to me, chatted me up. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody. But I'm telling y'all that the love is like real. And don't worry about the likes and the comments, because my family, my squad, they got jobs, responsibilities, and they be busy. But when they get a chance, trust me, they show us love. They shout us out. They repost. They comment. They already subscribe. They like and they share it with people that they know are not going to try to like bomb us. That's what we need. I told y'all the last episode, we need consistent, continuous support. And that's always what I'm going to cheer for. Y'all know we chase real humanity. We don't chase celebrities. So don't ever be surprised if you don't catch me up here with like your hottest, right? You already know me. Stop playing. Come on now. Y'all know my real name. Stop playing. But what this is, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to create is a place where we can talk about things that may be jarring to us, that it's not really safe to talk about other places. You can't talk about it at work. You might have burnt out all your friends. You know what I'm saying? But it's very, very, very important to have a safe place. And I recommend, if you feel like you need therapy or you feel like you need more than just one day a week on Openly Guarded, I always advocate and push for you guys to find a life coach, find a therapist, find somebody who you can trust and talk to, because it's important that we shed away the things that made us feel bound or not enough or just lacking of, because those things are not real. Those are temporary emotions that nobody had an opportunity to let you know that it was okay to let that thought go, to have that thought and let it go. Sometimes our mind is our biggest opponent. We think that, oh, I'm scrolling on social media and I saw this girl and she has 1 million followers. She always get a lot of refollows and likes and stuff. And it's like, you might find yourself going down this dark hole. I stay off social media. I really do. And I love everybody. But if you want me to see something, you really have to send it to me. Don't flood me down, but send me whatever you're proud of for that week. And I will do my best to check it out. I promise you that. Especially if I know you're a subscriber. Make sure you screenshot. Be like, I'm subscribed. Look at my stuff. And I'm going to go right to you. So what up? Hey, what up, OGs? But yeah, man, you really, 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 really have to understand how important, how valuable you are on this planet in this lifetime. You only get one life. I stopped saying YOLO like 3 years ago, but YOLO, you know what I'm saying? You live only once, and you need to make it the best you can possibly make it. Whether you single, whether you married, got kids, no kids, whatever. Been on the trip, and I haven't been on a trip in about 2 years. But my life to me is fulfilled because I do things to make it fulfilling. And am I looking for my dad? You best believe it. I want to see what that man looks like. I'm sure he's a beautiful man. And even if he's passed, I still want to see him. I would like to see my other side. I am getting well on in my years. And I want to see him. I want to see where I've come from. I want to see who created me. I don't care why. I don't care why you were gone. I don't want nothing but to see him. I would love that before I leave this place. But if you come from a home that you felt like you had an absent dad, even if your father was in the home, and I cannot stress that enough, because some people are, you're spoiled ass, you had mom and dad, they went to cop. Baby, just because you see it from the outside, that's the only view you got to see. And just because you see a woman who is well dressed and she can carry herself well, or a man who is well dressed and he can provide for his family, does not mean that they did not grow up in a single parent home. It just means that at some point in their life, when they reached a certain adulthood, they made a choice to say, I'm going to break this generational curse. I'm about to be the one who's going to pay my child support if that's what I got to do, because I'm not with this woman anymore. I'm going to pick up my kid and drop him off, buy him soccer practice gear and all of that stuff. I'm going to show up and be counted for my kid. I'm going to do what it takes. So it's like, I felt like it was very, very, very important for me to do this episode because y'all know I try to bring you things that are real and that we can grow from, and things that I've learned from. And even when it's a guest, we can grow and we can all learn together. And if it's me, I'm going to give you something real. Giving him something he can feel. That was on my too late. All right, that's enough. But that had been on my mind the whole time I was like drumming this up. I was on the phone with a homegirl, whatever, Rita. I was on the phone with my homegirl, and I just bust out this song. And I was just like, because I need to let y'all know that this is real. For me, if my family watch it and they proud of me, I'm doing a good enough job. I shout out the subscribers because I'm proud of us. I'm proud of all of us. I'm proud of me. But that don't really matter. What matters is that y'all getting the content consistently, that I'm creating a brand that y'all can really truly support over these years, and that I'm putting something out that is real, that is therapeutic, that is healing, that is nurturing. I'm not putting on, making it seem like this ain't come from Fashion Nova and it's not the same jewelry that I've been wearing since I've been shooting, because I don't feel like, I don't wear jewelry like that, baby. Ain't no earrings on. I don't get down like that. I'm just regular. Y'all can call it basic, call it what you want. I'm not the baddest bee. I'm not a baddie. I'm not one of the, I'm just regular degular. And probably not even that. You understand? But I want to just say that I'm not going to blame anybody or point fingers for the woman that I've become today. I'm very proud of the woman and it was a choice for me to become the woman that I'm becoming, and I'm still becoming, but it was a choice, and it's just that easy. Just saying, hey, look, I'm gonna go to school even if my family ain't go to school. I'm going to be a leader of my household even though I had an absent this or that. That simple. And you know what time it is. It is time for me to give you the movie of the week. I have to start saying the week now. I'm not allowed to say the day because technically I don't get to hang with y'all every day. So we gotta change that verbiage. So it's going to be the movie of the week and the book of the week and the word of the week. So I get to ponder for a week. I get to take a week to, read the book and practice the word and watch the movie, things like that. So now we're going to say the week, all right? So can I get that up there? And then make it flash. Okay. And I don't know if it'll make it up there because sometimes my head is big. So just put it on the screen somewhere. Thank you. So the movie of the week is going to be The Pursuit of Happiness. And I know I wanted to do this for y'all before, but I hope I didn't do it yet. And if I did, you get another opportunity to watch it again. The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will and Jaden Smith. Shout out to Philly. Doing it again. Karate Kid. Okay. Maybe you just got here. I'm sorry. So, The Pursuit of Happiness. Now, if you've seen it, I'm a spoiler anyway. But if you've seen it, then I hope that it was a little while ago, and I hope you take this episode into consideration and watch it again with a set of fresh eyes, especially if you didn't grow up with an absent father, especially because you'll just love him so much more. I'm such a sucker for love. Shout out to the Libras. Even though this movie is based upon the majority of a father being there and fully present in every way, tear. I just thought it reminded me of just the meaning of how deeply a father's influence can impact a child's life. How deeply a presence of a father can change the circumstance. I mean, because if you saw that movie, the part that stuck out to me was the bathroom scene. I don't want to go too deep because I am not messing up my makeup. But there was a time where I was homeless with my son, and we had nowhere to live. We had nowhere to go. And we were living in a car, and I was in 11th grade. The book is coming out. Don't worry about it. I was very young when I had my child, and I had to drop class. And if anybody knows me, then you know school is my life. And I had to drop a class so that he could go to school. And his school wasn't open until a certain time. And I would go to the YMCA. I don't even know if he remember this, but if he do, spoiler alert. I would go to the YMCA in the morning. I was living in Upper Darby, PA at the time. You could check the facts. And we would clean and get washed. I would wash him. He was just a little boy. He was only in kindergarten. I think he was not even 2. And I would go to the dollar store and get him like little Lunchable things and stuff. Shout out to Family Dollar. And just get his stuff for the day. Extra Pampers, extra clothes, whatever he needed. I just made sure he had everything he needed for that day. I don't even remember if I washed. I just wanted him to be accepted at school. And I knew that they already looked at me like I was some young little stupid mama that don't take good care of her kids. So I knew I was going to be judged real bad. So I just always tried to make sure he had everything that he needed, and then like extra stuff, you know, for the cubby. And we did that for a long time. And there were times where we couldn't get in the Y. And so he had to like pretty much fight to keep the privacy just so the baby could sleep a little longer. And if you've never had that experience, then you know the strength of the Lord. But if you have had that experience and you've made it to the other side, and you were able to start a podcast called Openly Guarded, and you were able to chant up at least 50 people to believe in you and subscribe and watch you come out every week, and you truly know the strength of the Lord's presence as well. And that movie touched a lot of people. It's a deep movie. So if you saw it, shout out to you. I hope you're willing to watch it again. And if you have not seen it, I hope that you would take out the time to watch it to understand how extraordinary fathers are and how amazing they are and how amazing a man's presence is in a child's life, in a family's life, in a dynamic, the triangle, you know. I'm sorry, I'm from the 80s, so the whole dynamic of it got shifted, and you know, shout out to Dr. Umar for breaking that down. If you want to know more about it, you can go check him out. But things changed, and when they changed, we changed as women, as people, as men, as women, as leaders, as deciders, as followers. Everything just kind of changed. So check that movie out. It's a good movie. Next, we are moving on to the word of the week. The word of the week is going to be attachment. Attachment is a bond, a connection that you develop between someone who you know cares for you. Attachment is developed. I usually use it when I'm talking to women, when I'm coaching or whatever I'm talking to them about at the time. I usually have to talk about it in a negative is, but attachment is not a negative is in a sort. If you have attachment style relationship issues, meaning you'll hold on to something even if you know it's bad, because letting it go or saying goodbye hurts too bad. It hurts worse than the bad, whatever you're dealing with in the relationship. Attachment works good ways and bad ways. So it's very important to understand that it's okay to appreciate a person for being there for you, for supporting you and loving you, but to bond, in a sense, even if I use the term trauma bond, it gets dangerous, so you want to be careful. But attachment can be a beautiful thing, especially when you're somebody who needs assistance with being guarded. Shout out to Openly Guarded. Shout out to the oxymoron. And you need assistance with letting people in and being softer, being kinder. I like when girls say, I'm in my soft girl era. I never know what that means. To me, soft girl era means like glam life and like high-rise city views and like brunches and just not really having to work very hard and having some handsome gentleman on your arm who like has a fancy Fortune 500 company or something like that. And you know, an easy life. A soft life to me, when I see it on social media, it looks like an easy life. To me, a soft life is soft. Soft. What up? I'm sorry. Soft. And I can't wait to get there, but I'm not there yet. So even if I'm like working less, or I have like a fancy house or something one day, I still won't look at that as soft. So yeah, shout out to the people that are down for being attached with everything that it comes with. And shout out to our word of the week. Now we are going to do our book of the week. So our book of the week is going to be, pause. It's going to be one of those times. Our book of the week is Father Need by, there it is. You know, whenever I'm about to chop somebody's name, I'm just going to put it out there so that y'all can always find it. So shout out to him. And this book is about exploring the unique role that fathers play in a child's adolescent's life. I think I'm saying that right. In their emotional and cognitive development. Yeah. Your story is still being written. You can decide the way that it ends. Thank y'all so much for being here. I truly appreciate y'all. I am Dimples the Queen. This has been Openly Guarded, and we had done it again. Episode 13? Don't quote me on that. I don't know. Y'all know I'm missing one, and I owe y'all one. And I'm working on getting it, like in real time. I promise you that. But people be ducking. People be dodging, baby. But I'm gonna find her though, because it was a great episode, and I really want to give that one to y'all. And I'm not gonna give y'all any more cheats about it, but just know that we had it in the crates. But I wanted to upgrade my material for y'all. We needed to get some lights and some lenses and pay some bills and not piss off the producer and things like that. So if you want to see what we got going on, if it's your first time being here with me, we'll be back again on Friday. And the next Friday. And the next Friday after that. So I say all of that to say, if you grew up in a fatherless home, or you know someone who grew up in a fatherless home, I really hope that this conversation has helped you in any type of way. And I hope that you'd enjoy it enough that you can share it with somebody who has, or who could, or who would. Yeah. This has been Openly Guarded. Thank you so much for being here with me. And if you learned something today, or you've lasted this long through the video, don't be too shy to give me a like, subscribe, a comment, or just share this with somebody who you think may need to hear it. Until next time, I am Dimples. Peace. You gotta stop. Did you have to restart it at all? Now I want to say spiritually. Don't do that. Hold on. Okay. Damn, I wanted to say absent. It's fine. Okay, last few lines and we're wrapping. Okay, stop that. I need to do another one. Did you hit it? I didn't decide where I was gonna put the shit, so we're about to do that right now. I'll put it in a chance later on. Sorry. Okay. I think I did, but I'll do it again. Today, bitch need a blue verse. We can wrap.
Put your hands up.